What's up guys, Sean here, and this is the Tkell Raider review. So I'm gonna show you what I'm carrying today. I am carrying my SPYDERCO Para 3 in MAXAMET blade steel. I sharpened this to 15 degrees per side, took it to a F800 Veneve diamond stone finish, which is approximately 3000 grit. And then I stropped this on basswood with 3 and 1 micron gunny juice, and this thing got insanely sharp. I think this was my first sub 50 gram best scoring knife, or testing, however you want to say it. I think this one was a 46 or a 48 gram best. Insanely sharp, sharpened up beautifully. Flip it over, show you the other side. Have a beautiful patina on this that I did. It's actually a forced patina with yellow mustard. I just dabbed it on there with a Q-tip, let it sit like 30 minutes, wash it off, and repeat. I did that a couple times, and that's how it came out. I really like how this side turned out with the little spots and stuff. Really neat. Have the MXG Gear Para 3 clip on here. Love this clip. And obviously just the standard factory SPYDERCO G10 scales, which are perfectly fine. I actually really like the factory scales on the Para 3. So yeah, that is what I'm carrying today. And I was also going to carry this one again. I carried this yesterday, but I figured I need to just get this review knocked out because this is one of the knives that Denise really wants to get back. So get this done and I can send this back along with a bunch of the other ones. So don't want to keep her waiting. As you can see, I also put my edge on this guy, and I believe I sharpened this at 19 degrees per side. I'll have to check my sharpening log. And I believe I also took this to F800. Might have been F400, but I think it was F800. And then 3 and 1 micron gunny juice on basswood. Really sharp. Let's get right into the categories on this stuff. First up, we have ergonomics, and this gets a perfect 5 out of 5. The ergonomics on this are extremely impressive. Possibly one of the best feeling knives in hand that I've ever felt. So my only gripe is if it had maybe just a hair longer of a handle, but it's not enough of a complaint to knock off any points because overall it feels super good and I like the compact size of it. So ergonomics 5 out of 5. It obviously does not have a pocket clip, but it does have a Kydex sheath with a clip, and this little sheath, or yeah, I guess you call it a sheath, works really well. I just clip it on my shorts or pants, whatever. You can do it on your belt, and that's what I would do. You really want this is designed to be clipped over a belt, like a decently thick leather belt, so it'll stay in place. And you want to position it kind of in front of one of your belt loops, so when you go to draw it, the sheath will stay in place and you can pull the knife out without any issues. Now I also wore this on some kind of like sweat shorts with a drawstring that were tied really tight, and I didn't have any issues getting the knife out. This stayed in place pretty well, so really like the retention of it. And as far as carry goes, also gets a 5 out of 5. I have limited experience when it comes to fixed blades, guys, but out of the ones that I have carried, this one has by far been my favorite. I just carry it on my appendix, you know, right above my groin area, you know, under my belly button, above my groin. You guys get the picture. And it rides there extremely comfortably. There's been a few times that I actually completely forgot that it was there, so it is not cumbersome or burdensome whatsoever. It carries extremely well. Obviously it doesn't have an action per se because it's a fixed blade, but as far as, you know, drawing it in and out of this holster or sheath, it works extremely well. Excellent retention. I can run around or whatever, it's not going to pop out, but when you do want to get it out, it's not too difficult. So really excellent job with that. Perfect 5 out of 5. For the hardware, also perfect 5 out of 5. Have some nice beefy oversized hex, or maybe they're TORX, I don't know, it could be like a T30 or something, could be a giant TORX, but nice oversized hardware, really like that. For the aesthetic, also gets a perfect 5 out of 5. This is a really good looking fixed blade. I like the lines, I like the curves, I like the contours.
Wow.
I like the cutouts. I mean, even the blade grind, all of those aspects look really, really good. So 5 out of 5. For the price, I also give this a 5 out of 5. Now, that's might be being a little bit generous, but these maybe not. This is made in the USA by a veteran who is also specializes in combat defense or hand-to-hand combat, knife combat, that kind of deal. As far as I know, I'm not an expert. I don't know everything about the guy or his company, but from what I do know, you know, that's the kind of stuff he does, self-defense, all that. And I think these come in around $200, and the blade steel is $10.95. So that is a very simple, basic carbon tool steel. It is not a high hardness steel. I believe $10.95. Usually Rockwell's around like, you know, 56 or possibly even lower, possibly like 55 to 57 or so, or 55 to 56. I would have to double check, but it's going to be a steel that is good for toughness, but it's not going to hold a fine edge very long at all. But it kind of, I don't think that was the purpose of this knife. If you look at the blade grind, how thick it is, I don't think it's designed to be a slicey, you know, EDC cardboard destroyer. I think this is designed more along the lines of self-defense, and yeah, I think it's more of a defense knife. And when it comes to defense knives, a thicker blade stock could actually be beneficial, because larger wound channel obviously is going to be more effective at stopping an attacker. But yeah, $200, not too shabby. So I gave the price a 5 out of 5. Obviously it doesn't have acoustics, so that's not available. Let's see, the factory edge, I gave it a 5 out of 5 because this was sharp when it arrived and it had been used, and I was impressed because, you know, 1095 isn't going to keep a very good edge for long, but this was sharp when it arrived. So good job to Tkell on his sharpening, and I'm pretty sure I did this thing a ton of justice with this edge. the, you know, the edge, cutting performance and everything is only going to be better. For the handle, we get a perfect 5 out of 5. Extremely ergonomic. It looks good. It feels good. I think it would be pretty durable. Plenty of grip. There's no hot spots whatsoever. Very nice. For the blade, also get a 5 out of 5. I was going to dock at some points, and originally, first impressions, I said this thing would do great with a regrind and that it was too thick. But you know, then I was basically informed that it's not intended as that kind of knife, and it's intended to be tough. And I think for its purposes, this blade grind deserves a 5 out of 5. But if I was rating it on you know, cutting performance, which that's a different category, then it's not going to be quite as good. So 5 out of 5 on the blade grind, the, you know, the theory behind it, and the usefulness and effectiveness. For materials, I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's excellent materials for what it is and its purposes, but I would like to see more premium blade steel. For the overall design, I gave it a 5 out of 5, and for value, I gave it a 5 out of 5, which might be generous because really, when it comes to value, a big factor of that is how much of the value it holds and its resale value. If it's going to drop 50% the second you buy it, you know, without even using it, then that's not a very good value. But if it maintains most of, at least the majority of its value, as long as the condition is good, you know, or even appreciates in value, then that's when I give a perfect score for the value category. So yeah, I gave a 5, but just because I don't know what the resale market's like for these, so it could be perfect score, or I could be being generous. I just don't know and don't have time to really do further research, so I apologize there. But yeah, the weight of this is perfect. It's very balanced. Really like how it feels. I like how it carries. I like everything about it. I didn't carry this as a primary, so I didn't really do any cutting with it. I did some very minimal cutting, and it'll cut, but it's not going to pass through material very easily. Like I said, I don't think that was the intended purpose of this knife, really. So for what it is, I kind of like everything about it. And yeah, so I got to get to work. I got to get these knives packed up and all that stuff. So yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you all for watching. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. Stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.